Hey, everybody, and welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is with us as well. Say hello, Satsu.
Hello, Satsu.
And I am your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey. And I actually got through that better than I thought I would.
Yeah, you're living up to your name today, huh?
Oh, man, I'm having a rough day all around. Because, okay, I want to stop. We're going to talk about this now because...
Stop, collaborate, and listen.
2 weeks ago, State of Decay 2 came out. And me and Satsu were both very happy, and we both picked it up immediately and got to playing. And yesterday, they dropped a 20 gigabyte patch for this fucking
thing.
Bigger than the actual game itself.
Oh, is that a statement of how screwed up their first release was or something?
I don't know, because I never had a problem with it.
What's the patch notes say about it?
Now it won't start.
Oh, great.
Most of the patch notes were that it was mostly about fixing connectivity was the biggest part of what they did, helping people play together.
20 gigs for that?
20 fucking gigs.
Ask Satsu. I was reading the patch notes last night, and there's no reason for this to be this big.
That's nuts. Yeah, that's like that Fallout 4 55 gigabyte graphics upgrade, which, if you look at it comparison-wise, doesn't do anything.
Man, and I've spent the last hour and a half trying to get the game fixed, and yeah.
That sucks.
The worst part is me and Satsu were probably going to be playing that Monday because we should be finishing Dying Light tomorrow. And now we can't unless they get us a rushed patch out. So we'll see what happens. The topper of my day. But on the other hand, I got to see Grand Monkey, and she was in rare form today.
Ooh.
My nephew had his open house for graduating high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so my daughter was over there, and my wife went. I didn't go because I don't do much, and I knew I had to go to the store anyway. Grand Monkey insisted on going to the store with Grandma and Grandpa.
Oh.
And she was just entertaining the whole time.
Yeah.
She wanted to watch. She told me the other day, I need to watch. I said, why do you need to watch? She said, because I don't have one. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So we were there today, and they have little cheap character watches for kids. And she found a little Minnie Mouse one that lights up, and she loves it. And we get home, and my daughter, she goes, you got her a watch? I'm like, yeah. She said, she told me the other day she wanted one, and I told her she didn't need one. I said, I didn't get it for her because she needed it. I got it for her because she wanted it. Now leave me alone. Me and my daughter have been fighting over my grandchild lately.
Is it analog or digital?
It's digital. Not that she can. Yeah, my daughter, she can't tell time. Like, she can't tie her shoes. I still put them on her. Welcome back, Satsu. Where'd you go?
Hey.
Yeah, shit.
I was trying to do something and I did it wrong.
You closed the window, didn't you?
Yeah, because I was on my dual screen and I moved the mouse over so I can click something that was in the corner and went just a little too far and clicked the X on the other screen.
Nice. How are you guys tonight? Satsu, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I woke up at 3 a.m. to see Squishy off to work, and then I couldn't go back to sleep. So I played some State of Decay until I basically fell asleep. And then I woke up at 4 p.m. and I'm like, well, there's the day. So,
Scribbles, how you doing, man?
Well, I woke up at 4:30 in the morning and then did laundry. And while laundry was going, I put my video together and got that out there. And then the rest of the day was sort of hurry up and waiting for work stuff to float into my attention that I had to log into work from home to deal with stuff off and on over the day. And in between, I worked my way through Fallout 4 to Nuke the Institute. So that was fun.
Sweet. All righty. Anything else we need to cover?
Not that I know of.
In that case, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, smash that like button, y'all, and share our stuff. Share everybody's stuff. Sharing is good. I learned that in kindergarten, I think.
Yes. Probably.
Yes. Check Your Logic said, my friend's prom is tonight. I remember my prom, not too fun. You know what? prom night is a rough spot for me. We've discussed it before. Lady Monkey got mad at me at prom, and it's one of the few nights during high school we didn't have sex, and that's not how you're supposed to spend your prom. Anyway, Scribbles, what do we have for news?
Well, I have a Dr. Pepper.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, yeah, I guess that's it. On MSS News, no kidding. I got a couple of stories here. Let me pour my drink. That's the important thing first. The sweet, tangy flavor of Dr. Pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? The official drink of Scribe Light. Yes. Satsu will not be getting any sweet Dr. Pepper money now. So I have one not really exciting story, and then I have two oddball stories. So I've got some like kind of real news, and then I've got some, probably MSS level stuff, but we'll work our way through it.
Okay.
I'm only reading this one because there was a quote from a congressman they used as the teaser line, and I'm hoping that they put it somewhere in the article because it struck me as an interesting notion. So let me work through this. Congressional Republicans are lining up against Trump on trade. Republicans on Capitol Hill were fuming after the White House abruptly announced it would begin imposing steel and aluminum tariffs Friday on U.S. allies Canada, Mexico, and the European Union. The move Thursday came after Republicans had tried to convince the administration for months to target China with tariffs rather than U.S. trading partners, and it could trigger Republicans on Capitol Hill to consider taking action against their own president on trade. Quote, I disagree with this decision, House Speaker Paul Ryan, a Wisconsin Republican who had quietly tried to convince Trump to hold back on the action, said in a statement. Quote, there are better ways to help American workers and consumers. I intend to keep working with the president on those better options, unquote. The clear and public break between the president and top congressional Republicans had been simmering for months, with weeks of behind-the-scenes efforts to walk back or just water down what Trump and his team pledged to put in place. But Thursday's move underscored the depth of the divide between the two sides of Pennsylvania Avenue, even as a legislative counter to the action was far from a sure thing, aides said. Now, where is the quote that had gotten me interested in this article to begin with? Dang it. They don't put it in here. Why do they do this? Okay, well, a congressman that they quoted somewhere earlier, but they don't put it in here somewhere, he said that you don't treat allies like opponents. And the reason that caught my brain was when you're talking about nations, are you really friends? Are allies inherently friends, I guess is the question when it comes to nation states.
I think it's not friends like you and me are friends, but I think I get what they're going for there. I don't necessarily think it's true. Whoa. Republicans have always been big on open trade until Clinton did it, of course, and they didn't like how he did it. But I don't know. This whole trade thing is getting annoying to me. That's all.
Well, I guess the thing that strikes me is that even if we're allies with Canada, let's say, sure, and we are allies with Japan, let's say, but we are always in competition with both over something.
Sure. I see what you mean there. Yeah. I think that, excuse me, so sorry. When it comes to like trade deals and stuff, especially you mentioned Canada, that's a good place where, if you go, well, they're our friends, we have to be nice to them. And look how your friends are treating you too. So you definitely have a point there that there's always going to be some kind of conflict, and trade is going to be one of them because that's how nations make their money.
And it's the most bloodless kind of conflict between nations that are even allies. So when the guy said that, I just kind of thought, well, yeah, not necessarily. Allies are not people that are just going to roll over for. And when you're talking about the movement between sovereign nations, basically it's like, we're not at war with you. We have no violent intention against you. We're going to trade goods and stuff, but that doesn't mean we're just going to like open the door and let you in and fuck our wife and then take our TV and walk out,
Sure. Real quick, Dubious in chat says, I'm getting so turned off on YouTube now because so many creators are producing 2, 3, or even 6-hour streams instead of, or for super chats instead of making quality content. I get you.
Quality is subjective, but yeah.
Not only that, like, unfortunately, like, YouTube is kind of forcing people's hands at this point. Especially if people especially with the people who are making a living out of it, you know what I mean? Like if they're just doing it as a hobby or whatever, it kind of doesn't matter for them. They can just do whatever. But for people who are making it a living, when you get a video that gets over, 100,000 views and you get like $3, you're like,
try less than $1.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When we started, this had nothing to do with any money. It was just us talking at night. And super chats are always appreciated, but definitely not necessary. I hope we still entertain you. I mean,
yeah, because even if everybody on all fronts was just like, you know what, no super chats, that's not gonna stop the show. Like, because we like doing it.
I actually, I'm sorry.
Real quick, if you want quality content, I haven't made anything in more than a month now, but Scribe and Satsu are still putting out stuff.
Oh, yeah. We're putting out all right. Well, it's funny you bring that up because I had our favorite troll between us left a comment on the stream last night.
What do you have to say this time? This fucking guy.
Well, even though it's not fuck a tree time, I will indulge because there's not much going on today. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up.
It's Saturday. We're relaxed on Saturday. It's true.
So let's see. Where did it go? Okay. So our favorite friend, Touch Me, said this of last night's stream. My God, I wish I had the money to throw away on this stream for such fake laughs like you all give out. How does it feel to you that you are most likely taking poor people's money for a little bit of internet attention that they might actually be able to put to better use? I mean, you aren't even doing the quote-unquote hard task of making up shitty joke ads for it now. This is sort of like classic Touch Me. It's where he's complaining that he's criticizing me for receiving donations, but at the same time underlining the fact that I have elected to not do the thing that would get me more donations. It's like he's just upset, and I really don't want him to be upset. I don't know what he. Well, okay, I apologize. I'm assuming a gender here. I don't know. I don't want them. I don't want Zur to be upset. I'm confused as to what it is that's going on there. So this is how I responded, just to be sort of clear about it. And I'm sort of repeating the question back, as I am wont to do in my videos and things. How does it feel to be taking people's money, even after actively declining to do the thing that would net me even more money, for something that people are willing to donate to of their own volition? I believe I have said, and in the past, the entire idea that people would donate any money towards me or the others is humbling, because I don't do this for the money. But then I've discussed that with you before, and I've had conversation. Well, conversation implies like a back and forth, but I've done responses to them before. Sorry.
I'm starting a new fundraiser. It's the Touch Me fundraiser.
Well, I ended with this, but hey, now there's an opening in the market. So why not take on the quote-unquote easy task of jokey ad writing yourself? I'm sure you'll be rolling in the dough in no time at all.
Thank you, Ash. Monkey, I always find you entertaining when I donate $200, so Lady Monkey can smack your ass.
Yeah.
Is that the only time you find me entertaining? Because that would be hurtful.
It's
Anyway.
What's really funny though is the way that he's talking about like the viewers, like we're stealing their money from them by forcing them to spend it on us when they could probably be doing it. These poor poor people. I'm like, what? What do you
Mash
mean,
just
sir?
sent $5 she should have spent on ramen because she's gonna starve otherwise. Thank you very much. Wait, what the fuck? Give me back my money. I know.
Yeah, yeah. So, guys, if you hadn't read between the lines here, we do this for fun. We do this for catharsis and because we enjoy it. Like Monkey said, I mean, when we started doing this on Monkey's channel, it was only always on Monkey's channel for the longest time, and I didn't even care. I'm luckily in a position in my life where I do not need to do YouTube for a revenue stream. You know, if I got no money out of YouTube at all, I have a full-time job. I'm fine. You know, if it comes to the point where that changes or something and I need to like a carryover or something, we'll have to figure something else out. But no, we don't. This isn't about the money for us. I can't read Monkey and Satsu's mind. Maybe they're greedy Ebenezers for all I know, but you know, for me, it doesn't matter.
I the money is nice. It helps me buy ramen noodles. Thank you, Instel Casanova. Stop stealing my money, you evil guys. Yeah.
I think it was how does it feel taking the money? It's like I'm not reaching into their pocket or something. It's like I appreciate it. It's not necessary. And that's the whole thing. But with the ads, it was like the reason I did the ads is because I wanted to have a bit of an exchange. Like I'm doing something, not just taking it in necessarily. You know, that was the whole idea. But anyway.
How dare you not take their money?
No, for those of you guys asking in chat, if you go back to the streams every once in a while, you'll see this guy pop up, and he's a very hateful dude. And I'm calling him a dude. If it's a woman, she's a hateful dude. Thank you, Circus Zero. $2 towards to the cheap hooker for Touch Me. Oh, you know, I think the problem with Touch Me is he needs to change his name to Touch Myself, because that dude needs to rub one out.
I don't know. Like he approaches me differently than he approaches you guys. Like, because he almost kind of admits that he's trolling when he talks to me. Because like when he sends more serious messages, he'll say, "All trolling aside," and then like say something that's not as trolly or stupid as he usually does. But I'm thoroughly convinced that he's just entertained by the whole thing, and he's just trolling us.
Thank you, Mash. Monkey, I always find you entertaining. I just find you especially hilarious when you're screaming in pain. Give me a few minutes.
Yeah. Jack Gunsky asked, have you ever bought something interesting with stream money? Well, money is fungible, so it's all... But of course I do. It's called The Delicious Taste of Dr. Pepper. Would you like to be a pepper too? I'm waiting for Dr. Pepper to sponsor me, just like out of the blue one day. Just like,
Somebody asked why this is called Lesbian Pride. Today is Lesbian Pride Day, y'all.
Yeah. Don't you know?
This is Pride Month, and today is Lesbian Day. Yesterday was Gay Day. And then for the rest of the month, if you have a sexuality, there's a day for you, including aromantic, I think is the one I saw, is the final day of the month. Where
you don't know how to buy flowers for somebody?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Romantic.
But in honor of Gay Pride, I bought some ding dongs today.
Are they rainbow colored?
They're not. I'm putting ding dongs in my mouth this month. Actually, Hostess ding dongs are my favorite snack you can buy. I prefer homemade cookies, but snacks that you can buy, Hostess ding dongs are my favorite. When Hostess shut down because of the whole union thing, I was actually very sad because they stopped making them for a while. But they have new peanut butter ding dongs, y'all.
Ooh.
And they're actually really good.
Is it a brand name peanut butter like Jif and Ding Dongs brings you?
No. If you want Jif on your ding dong, you got to do that yourself.
Sounds German. Sounds German.
It does. It does indeed.
Would you like some Jif on your ding dongs?
I don't like Twinkies, Prospero, but they do have special Twinkies. I don't like them. They're too dry. I do like a good zinger, though, but that's Dolly Madison.
God, that sounds so dirty.
And the great part is none of it was.
Let me do these other couple stories real quick before we get to. I'm format crazy today. What can I tell you? Now I'm going to read this headline, and I want you now. I haven't read the story yet. Oh, you have a super chat.
Sorry.
Sorry.
That's all right. Happy Lesbian Day. I'll celebrate on Red Tube later. Thank you, Gregory Harris.
All right. So I'm going to read this headline, and I haven't read the story, but I want us to take a moment to imagine how this headline came to be. All right. Now, this does require that you know a little bit about customs law, but U.S. Customs seizes Ohio family's life savings at airport.
They hid it in something they shouldn't have.
Well, so the first thing that came to my mind is one, when you cross the border.
Oh, motherfucker! I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, wait a minute, because I don't want to talk without monkey here.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, when you cross the border, you can carry on you cash up to $10,000 before you have to declare it. If you don't declare the money, conceivably by law, the government can seize it, on all of it, on suspicion that it might be, on the purpose, especially if it's not declared, it might be used for the purposes of something underhanded or illegal. If you declare it and you fill out all the paperwork, like I will be moving across the border with, $17,000, etc., you're usually pretty good. But if you don't declare it, you're in deep trouble. That's my first thought is what happened here, which isn't a scandal because that's just the law. So let's see. Members of an immigrant family in Ohio say U.S. Customs and Border Protection seized $58,100 of their life savings. Now they want it back. Rustam Kazazi, 64, was headed to his native Albania to visit relatives in October, according to a federal lawsuit that he, his wife Layla, and son Harold filed this week in Ohio against the agency and others. The suit alleges Customs and Border Protection used civil forfeiture laws to take the money without arresting or charging anyone with a crime. Kazazi has planned to spend 6 months in Kazazi had planned to spend 6 months in Albania and buy a vacation home for retirement on the Adriatic coast, according to court documents. Okay, I'm waiting for them to tell me that they declared the money ahead of time so they stay within the law. He also wanted to help members of his extended family who are struggling. To make the transactions easier and avoid bank fees, he reduced his family's life savings to cash, there was your first mistake, packed it in a carry-on, and brought it with him to the airport, according to the family's lawsuit. Quote, he counted the cash several times, separated it into 3 stacks of $20,000, $19,100, and $19,000 each, and then after counting again, labeled each stack with the amount it contained. He then placed the 3 stacks in a single envelope and wrote $58,100 on the outside. Transportation Security Administration agents spotted the money inside Kazazi's bag as he went through security on October 27th. TSA called Customs and Border Protection's agents who took Kazazi's passport and driver's license. Sorry?
No, go ahead.
Okay. They declined to comment. Well, did he declare it? That's all I want to know. If he didn't declare it, then he's in violation of the law.
I'm guessing not.
Let's see. Customs agents interrogated him without a translator and then seized his family's life savings without charging anyone with a crime. Later, the agents gave Kazazi a receipt for an unspecified amount of U.S. currency. An unspecified amount? Okay.
That's weird.
That's why they wouldn't say that, yeah. The Civil Asset Forfeiture Reform Act of 2000, the lawsuit says, quote, requires the government to return seized property, initiate civil forfeiture proceedings, or initiate criminal proceedings within 90 days of the date on which the seizing agency received the property owner's demand for federal court proceedings. That deadline, it says, was April 17th. Okay. On its website, Customs and Border Protection says there is no limit on the amount of money one can take out of the country or bring in, but travelers must declare any amount over $10,000. It's unclear whether one has to declare the money at the first stop at an airport or before leaving the United States. Is it? Okay.
Why would that be unclear? Shouldn't that be something that's clear?
Yeah,
That
it's like,
should be very clear.
yeah, if I get on a plane in Portland and I fly to Texas before getting my connecting flight to Jamaica or something, it should be pretty clear at which point I have to declare the money. It should be, I would assume it's at the port of entry to or exit, I guess maybe. But there they say it's not clear. Okay, that's weird. Anyway.
I just have a problem with government seizures like this, and I understand it. It's the law. That's fine. But that needs to change. The government should not just be able to take your money because you took it to the airport and didn't understand you couldn't have that much.
Well, I understand the law in order to prevent the moving of money for illegal purposes like drugs or human trafficking and terrorism, things like that. They have to be able to monitor that kind of stuff and have somebody accountable for it if it exceeds a certain amount. I understand that. What I don't understand is why they didn't clarify in this thing, did he or did he not declare it? I mean, if he went to the trouble of like wrapping it in little bands and numbering it and making sure it was all clear, did he not then also take the extra step of just declaring it? I don't get that. So,
now, see, I don't even like that for the whole illegal purposes. It's if you take out money out of your bank over a certain amount, you have to tell them why. It's my money. If I want to spend it on hookers and blow, prove I did it, motherfucker.
No, you don't have to tell them why. You just have to declare that you have it.
No, I'm talking about, I said at a bank.
At a bank.
Yeah, if you withdraw a certain amount of money, I forget what the limit is. But you have to fill out a form letting them know why you're doing it.
Oh.
And it's your money. If you're leaving the country, it's your fucking money. I don't give a shit.
If I had to do that, I would just write for fun. Why are you taking all your money out of the bank? For fun.
I'm going to just write the word none ya.
Yeah. Okay. And the last story I got came out a couple of days ago. I guess it's been updated since then, but I just found this fascinating because it sounds like a plot line for like a legal, I don't know, like a legal thriller or an episode of Law and Order without the murder or something. How a nobody ex-con pushed Avenatti law firm into bankruptcy.
Damn.
This is really weird. And I don't even know who Michael J. Avenatti is, but apparently he's involved in the Stormy Daniels thing. But anyway. Even before he became famous, okay, as the fast-talking, trash-talking, in-your-face attorney representing Stormy Daniels in her sexually charged lawsuit against the president, I don't know. If I ever heard his name prior to this, I don't remember it. Michael J. Avenatti had achieved an enviable degree of success and notoriety. His law firm, Egan Avenatti LLP, had hauled in more than $400 million in verdicts and settlements. His cases were featured on CNN, 60 Minutes, and in the pages of the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. Then, in early 2017, there were suddenly signs of trouble. His law firm was abruptly forced into bankruptcy by a Florida man who claimed he was owed the relatively meager sum of $28,700. The Florida bankruptcy judge who handled the case expressed surprise that such a minor debt could threaten to financially topple a multi-million-dollar law firm. She also questioned the timing of the filing, 2 days before the deadline set for Avenatti and two other firm employees to be deposed in a long-running arbitration with a former partner who said he was owed as much as $18 million by the law firm. The involuntary bankruptcy filing by the Florida man, Gerald Tobin, was a rare and obscure legal maneuver that had the effect of freezing the arbitration proceedings with the former partner. The result was that the Avenatti avoided being questioned under oath in the proceeding. The whole thing, the judge said, quote, had the stench of impropriety. That didn't have anything to do with Avenatti's firm necessarily, she said. She referred to Tobin as a, quote, screwy small creditor and questioned whether he had, quote, some relationship with the firm that would have induced a collusive filing, or if Avenatti's firm, quote, just got plain lucky that someone filed on the eve of arbitration. In court papers, Avenatti's lawyers described Tobin as a private investigator who'd performed undisclosed services for the firm. But Tobin, 48, is no private investigator, a CNN investigation found. He's a convicted felon whose rap sheet is 15 pages long and spans 4 decades. He served time in prison in the early 90s and was arrested on domestic violence charges as recently as February. Avenatti's association with Tobin has taken on new significance in light of his representation of Daniels. In that role, Avenatti has cast himself as a crusader for truth and transparency on behalf of the American public. He has used Twitter and frequent TV appearances to castigate President Trump and his attorney Michael Cohen for not being forthcoming about Trump's alleged sexual encounter with Daniels, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I just found this incredible. I found it amazing. It's just so sneaky. It's like now we get to avoid having to pay out $18 million and or be questioned under oath over whatever it is because of a fortuitous bankruptcy filing for 28 grand.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I just find that I for some reason I just find that fascinating.
That sounds like a movie plot.
Yeah, I could just see like a scene where like you got the guys who were on the line where they're going to have to like testify or something in a back room going like, you know, if we testify to them, we're going to jail or we're going to go broke or whatever else. We've got to think of something. Hey, I know this guy. Hey, you want to sue us?
Yeah, I was watching, I don't know if you guys ever watched Blue Bloods, but that's like a cop show that Squishy's been watching a lot. And they had an interesting story of like, I guess some dude had like molested and killed some dude's this other dude's daughter, and he had like a fucking amazing lawyer who got him off, and the dude got pissed, so like he found him and he killed him, and they were trying to debate like, you know, I don't want to put this dude away because he killed the dude who molested his daughter, and it's like, you know, they had this dilemma. So what they ended up doing is convincing the lawyer that represented the dude who killed his daughter or whatever, to like represent him in court or whatever, and he got him off too. I was like, what the fuck kind of shit is that?
Well,
I have one story before we move on real quick.
Okay.
It's a short one, guys. It's a short one. It just made me laugh. Well, yeah,
is it about a midget?
No.
Oh, is it about Weibo?
Man trying to dance with woman stabs her boyfriend. Friends.
What?
This is from New York. Police say a man trying to dance with a woman at a Manhattan bar stabbed her boyfriend and his friends. The suspect entered the bar on Manhattan's East Side early Saturday morning and tried to dance with a woman. Police say he put his hands on her hips when her boyfriend confronted him. An argument ensued, and the assailant pulled out a knife, stabbing and slashing the 27-year-old boyfriend in the torso and shoulders. His friends tried to help and were slashed around the head and shoulders. All 5 are in stable condition. The Turtle Bay Bar on 2nd Avenue near East 52nd Street was evacuated after the attack. Police say the suspect is in his 20s and was wearing a white shirt and white hat.
Oh, he got away.
He got away. He stabbed 5 fucking people and got away.
See, when you read the headline, I thought it was something like he started dancing and somehow convolutedly, accidentally, by dancing, he stabbed somebody.
Right.
No. And he obviously knows what he's doing with a knife because, man, got him in the head and shoulders. Damn.
He must have been watching Under Siege and took pointers.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, so be careful who you're dancing with, guys. You never know when crazy bitch is going to get stabby. But with that, guys, we're going to move on to MSS News. If there's a story you'd like us to take a look at, hit us up on the Twitter machine at hashtag MSS News. Can't get to them all, but we get to as many as we can, and we thank you for your contributions. Scribbles.
And let's start out with one from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent, Colleen Bernier. Excuse me. Woman 23, born without a vagina, has become the first person in the world to have one made out of fish skin, and she can finally have sex with her boyfriend.
No.
No.
Okay.
A woman born without a vagina has become the first in the world to undergo reconstructive surgery to have one built out of fish skin. Jocelyn Marino, 23, from Ceará, Brazil, underwent a neovaginoplasty in April last year after being born with Meyer-Rokitansky-Kuster-Haus. I assume that's a syndrome because they don't put syndrome in there, but I'm assuming it's syndrome, which left her with no cervix, uterus, or ovaries, meaning she will never have children. The procedure, performed at the Federal University of Ceará, involved creating an opening where Miss Marino's vagina should have been before inserting a genital-shaped mold lined with skin of the freshwater fish tilapia. The fish skin was hold on. The fish skin was then absorbed into her body and transformed into tissues that lines the vaginal tract. After spending 3 weeks in the hospital, Miss Marino, the first of 4 patients given the procedure, was discharged and is now thrilled with the results. She said, quote, "My family and friends took me out to, quote, toast my new vagina." Miss Marino, who spiraled into a deep depression when she thought she would never have an intimate relationship, has even been able to have sex for the first time with her boyfriend of over a year. She added, quote, "It was a wonderful moment because everything worked perfectly. There was no pain, just a great deal of pleasure and satisfaction." Well, I can't begrudge anybody that, even if it's weird.
Whatever.
Yeah.
She's happy.
If it worked, there you go. You know.
But just don't go too fast. It smell like a fish fry up in there.
Oh.
But it's fishy vagina.
I mean, what else?
Fishy vagina. Sounds like a song that
And
the Dead Kennedys would do, or the Dead Milkmen.
and it's not like a real vagina, so she's got to make sure she douches that out, or that is going to be fucking horrible.
Put some hot sauce on that shit.
Look, the fish skin was used as basically a lattice for the other skin to grow around it. Okay, it's not that it's made of fish skin. It was absorbed into her body. Now it's just her skin. For God's sake.
Right, like you just look in there and there's fucking scales.
Let's see. This one comes from Froggy. And are they going to let me read it? Apparently, yes. Okay. I hate it when it's like the article pops up and then suddenly there's a little window that says, "Hey, would you like to subscribe?" Like, no, I don't. I'm coming here for the one-time deal. I'm not going to pay money. Victoria's Secret bills uncovered ex-Apple workers' $243,000 embezzlement scheme.
Oh. A
former administrative assistant for Apple has been sentenced to 3 years in state prison for charging $243,000 on a company credit card for luxury personal items at stores such as Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Victoria's Secret. Tony Ann Branca, 42, of Livingston, admitted to second-degree theft by deception in January. In addition, she paid $95,000 in restitution to the company. Branca worked mostly from home, arranging employee training, travel, and parking while between. You can take out the while, guys. And parking between 2013 and 2016. She was issued a company American Express card to pay for employee expenses, such as conference rooms and parking, as well as to shop for clothing, electronics, and furniture. Apple began to investigate Branca after discovering numerous Victoria's Secret charges on her company-issued card. You are a stupid thief. I don't know what to tell you. I'm surprised you got as far as you did before they caught you, but you're a stupid thief.
Yeah. Here's a credit card that's in the company's name that you have full control over and monitoring capabilities. Hopefully you don't find out that I'm spending ridiculous amounts of money on shit.
Yeah, lingerie. Yeah. Let's see. This one comes from Mashisu. If it'll come up here.
Silly bitches are us.
Well, what do you know? Doctor Strange saved some lives, maybe. Benedict Cumberbatch is praised for fighting off street muggers. Consider this. You're in a group of muggers in London trying to steal a delivery man's bike, and Sherlock Holmes comes barreling at you. What do? Ask for an autograph or run? 4 would-be thieves chose option 2, fleeing after actor Benedict Cumberbatch, who has played Holmes in the popular series Sherlock, jumped out of an Uber and chased them down in an act the driver said was heroic. The Sun reported the November incident. Oh, okay. Well, this is a story from today. All right. The Sun reported the November incident after Uber driver Manuel Diaz came forward. He told the paper he did not recognize Cumberbatch at first, but it dawned on him after the assailant smashed a bottle on the victim's head and Cumberbatch ran towards them yelling, "Leave him alone." There he was, star of stage and screen, blocks away from Holmes's fictional London home. It was only then that I recognized Benedict. Then it all got a bit surreal. Here was Sherlock Holmes fighting off 4 attackers just round the corner from Baker Street. Diaz, who said he was transporting Cumberbatch along with his wife, Sophie Hunter, tried to help dispatch the scoundrels. Quote, he seemed to know exactly what he was doing. He was very brave. He did most of it, to be honest. He wasn't injured. Then I think they also recognized it was Benedict and ran away. I like that. That's great. Let's see. Okay, got that. Who else do we have here? We talked about that one before. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to find something. Let's see. A lot of things. We talked about Roseanne, and we talked about Stan Lee. Okay. This one comes from Captain Brambles. Looks interesting. Scientist demands protection for historical sites on other planets.
What?
Okay. For all the great things humans have accomplished on Earth, you know, civilization and all that stuff, we've still managed to kind of make a mess of things. We already know that mankind isn't very good at preserving what nature has already built, but we're also not great about preserving the history of our own achievements, especially if there aren't laws and guidelines in place to tell us how far is too far. Now, a Canadian scientist is suggesting that we take a proactive approach when it comes to preserving other worlds. In a new paper published in Acta Astronautica, Jack Matthews of Memorial University of Newfoundland and Sean McMahon of the UK Centre for Astrobiology asked for a universal agreement to be reached with regard to preserving both important natural and historical sites on other celestial bodies. Quote, a global agreement to protect the most important sites is needed before it's too late. Too late. We don't even have a moon base yet.
What?
Okay. I think Olympus Mons is probably in safe territory on Mars for the next 300 years or something. I'm just saying.
He's being extra proactive.
Well, I know. That's what I'm wondering. It's like an asteroid is more likely to hit these things before we are at the rate we're going. Okay. The two scientists explain that thanks to the sharp increase in private space exploration and more countries aiming to travel the cosmos than ever before, other worlds are at risk of being utterly exploited before anyone has a chance to stop it. Quote, there lies the first footprints ever made by a human on another celestial body, Matthews said in regards to the footprints of the Apollo astronauts still sitting on the lunar surface. That footprint still exists there because there is no atmosphere on the moon, therefore there isn't any wind, so that dusty footprint is still there, preserved on the surface of the moon, and all the damage it has done. What the fuck, dude?
Is he bitching about the footprint?
Apparently so, because since we didn't rake over our footprints before we left the moon, I guess. So, yeah. I mean, I understand the sentiment that when we move forward into the rest of that we should proceed with some kind of guidelines and some foreknowledge of how we're going to be, interacting with these things and all that. I get that, and I agree with that to a in a sense. But this is just asinine.
See, I don't get it either. I'm one of those people. Even with watching like the statues get torn down in the southern states, and people, oh, we shouldn't do that. I don't think they should be destroyed because, I mean, if you want to take them down normally. But I'm not somebody who is so attached to everything around me that I think we need to actually see statues and mountains and trees. If we can move something that helps us, we should do it. And I don't give a fuck if that takes down a mountain or what. Well, and once we get into other celestial bodies, like if we got to the moon and we were able, it served us our purpose to make that fucker completely flat, I would have no problem with it. None.
Well, the thing I don't quite understand is that the moon has no historical sites.
Exactly.
Until we landed on it. Those footprints are technically historical sites because humans, until we hear otherwise, are the ones who determine what's historical and set things in the sands of time, so to speak, which is what that footprint is. So, I don't get it. I mean, we should have some kind of policy, some kind of agreement that we're not going to fly to Mars and start dumping our nuclear waste onto it. Something like that. Sure, things like that in a general sense I agree with, but this is just really weird.
See, I would have no problem with that because why not dump our nuclear waste? Well, maybe Venus,
shoot it into the sun. Shoot it into the sun. I've always said
Superman 4.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I've always said. It's like, how do we get rid of our nuclear waste and leave it underneath the sands and everything? I said, put it onto a rocket, shoot it into the sun, or shoot it off into space forever. It's not going to do any harm out there.
The sun. The universe's ultimate garbage.
It is
an incinerator.
It's a giant incinerator. It just sends the stuff you don't want. Put it on a big cargo ship. Now, of course, here's the problem, and I submit to this. If you put all the nuclear waste or whatever onto a rocket, you also risk that rocket fucking up before it even leaves the atmosphere and crashing into like a town or something. So, yeah, you don't want to have some kind of malfunction with a rocket. But I'm sure that at some point when we get a space elevator going, we can just tether that shit up into the atmosphere and then float it off before it even has to do anything.
Faith says, whoops, we blew up the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Oopsies.
Oh, darn.
Actually, there's a sci-fi movie called Sunshine. If anybody's ever seen that. Same guy that did 28 Days Later. This was several years ago. It's decent. It kind of goes into schlock horror movie stuff near the end, but everything leading up to that's pretty interesting.
We don't even have to shoot it at the sun. Just shoot it straight out into space. Who gives a fuck?
Well, like I say, wait until we get a space elevator where we can safely just lift it off the Earth without having to risk a rocket exploding. But yeah, same thing.
What time we got? Let's go ahead and call that there.
Okay.
There's a story there that I'm going to hold on to for deep topic, I think.
Let me just do one more here because this just came in. This is fresh in from Jim Healis. Caught my eye. Okay, I'm curious to know how many people actually this applies to. Starbucks employees say bias training was mostly anti-cop propaganda.
Why was it cop propaganda at all?
I don't know. Okay, so this is from themaven.net under the blog Blue Lives Matter. So, take everything with a grain of salt. Employees of color who attended the highly publicized unconscious bias training for Starbucks employees on Tuesday have reported it was more of a lesson on police brutality than anything else. Starbucks closed 8,000 stores for several hours on May 30th to facilitate seminars for its employees after the coffee shop at the forefront of a racial controversy in April. Quote, "It felt like we were off task the entire time because we didn't reflect on the situation itself," a black 18-year-old Starbucks employee called Tina told Philadelphia Magazine. The training materials focused a lot on police brutality, which had nothing to do with the incident that happened, Tina said. And then they go over the incident that happened there. Let's see. In fact, the Philadelphia Police Commissioner instituted a new police policy after the incident that required Starbucks employees to address company policy and commit to pressing charges before officers will make an arrest in one of their stores. But employees claim the training seminar was mostly a waste of time. Quote, I was really disappointed when I walked out of there because I was expecting so much more, Tina said. Another employee called Jamie said that the Starbucks representative running the session he attended did not even address the incident that had spawned the bias training. He said nobody talked about it unless somebody asked a specific question. This goes on for a bit longer, but I just find that kind of interesting.
What kind of shit is that? Then what was the fucking point? The police were the only ones in that situation that weren't wrong.
It's only about PR. That's it. Look at us. We're doing the good thing to try to not be racist or whatever.
We heard stories the other day that told different. So it's probably just different in different situations depending on which training you went to.
Yeah, each teacher did it differently or something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Again, guys, thanks for the submissions there. And now it's on to YouTube time. Satsu, what you did?
What you did?
A lot of editing, and that's it. I didn't upload anything. I just got the next. Yeah, I got the next batch of videos set up for 2 cents plus, so those will be in the works. And I did a whole bunch of editing, and that's it.
Scribbles, what did you work on?
I assembled and uploaded a new video today. It's a little brief snippet of a diversity and inclusion program promo for Brown University. And like I said last night, it starts out kind of plain and boilerplate for me because I've heard so many of these things at this stage of the game. But then she starts talking about how she says, you really have to try to, work with people to understand that these are problems that have to be addressed. But that's where it gets kind of complicated because how do you tell someone that there's this problem without, making it sound like you're accusing them of being discriminatory? And I pause and I say, yeah, how do you tell someone that they're both racist and sexist without actually accusing them of being racist and sexist? And her solution is to show them all these studies that say that we all have these biases.
Oh, fuck off with biases.
And so I'm like, oh, so you're going to tell an individual that because these studies say that statistics say X, Y, Z, therefore this person has to be held to account for studies that say they are to be held to account. And that was just that was the thing that really caught my mind as I watched it, and so I just broke it down. She says a bunch of other stuff that, again, it's kind of old hat at this point, but it's always just the ease with which somebody proposes that the way to solve the problem of there aren't enough people that look different in this room is to force there to be people that look different in this room simply on the basis that they look different. It never ceases to amaze me. It's just like, the upper echelons of the sciences are all white men. So I guess that's just it, right? We're just the best, right? And I'm like, yes, that's what it is. White men are at the top of the sciences because they're white men. They haven't worked their entire careers. Nobel Prize winners aren't a bunch of old men who have done nothing but work on science their entire lives. They didn't earn it. They just had it handed to them, because they're white. And of course, there are no upper echelon people in the sciences who aren't white. Says the fucking dean of students, professor of studies at... Anyway, I could go on. The video's there. By all means, watch it.
Have I mentioned lately that I hate people? I didn't do anything. I had a rough night last night. I got to bed about 8 o'clock this morning and woke up at noon and then didn't do much. So I went to the store and then I tried to get my fucking game to work for 2 hours or an hour and a half. And here we are. That brings us to internet fucketry time. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know much. Fuck you. Oh wait, I do want to mention we will be playing 7 Days to Die at 11:15ish tonight after the show over on 2 Cents Plus, as we do on the weekends. The only thing I saw going on, well, I know Onision is supposed to be having his debate with Blair. Is that tomorrow?
Yes. Tomorrow at 2 Eastern, I think.
I could not give a fuck less if I was paid to.
Yeah.
In fact, you guys can try that. You can donate to see if you can pay me to give a fuck, and I bet it won't work.
Oh, I did forget to plug one thing. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern. I have that right, I think. I'm going to be a guest on Tara Sin's channel. I was invited on there to, I guess, just chat. I guess, Monkey, you've been on that show before?
Yeah, I was on last week, I think it was. It's TERRA space SYNN, guys. Tara Sin.
Yeah, and so I'll be over there. So I am completely clueless as to the format that she uses. What did you go through, Monkey? Tell me. Warn me.
They're just chatting.
Okay.
That's actually the reason I ended up inviting Scooby on the show. I've seen Scooby many times, and I've thought about inviting him over, but that was the first time I really got to talk to him because he was a guest on there as well.
Okay.
And it was just such a fun conversation. That's why I was like, dude, you got to come on. So it's just like a nice little chat.
All right.
What was the other fucketry? Oh, Braving Ruin has disappeared from the internet.
Remind me who that is again.
Braving Ruin used to be known as Edgy Sphinx.
Oh, Edgy Sphinx. Okay, I know exactly who that is. Okay.
Yeah, he just is gone. And I haven't seen why, and nobody seems to know. Jean-Francois was
Jean-Francois. How I love Jean-Francois.
He put out a series of tweets that showed pictures from a Discord server where Kraut and Braving Ruin were talking right before Braving just disappeared from the internet, and Kraut was trying to get Braving to call him. I don't know what the fuck that's all about. But yeah, so he's disappeared again. Last time he disappeared, it was because he was a giant bitch, because he's a racist. Let's just call it like it is. He's an alt-righter who believes in the white supremacy stuff. And I'm oversimplifying there, but fuck him. If you're a supremacist of any kind, you can suck my ass. Yeah. But yeah, he's gone again. So we'll see what happens when he comes back this time. Because last time he had pretended to be a skeptic to infiltrate them and to turn them into alt-righters, and he can go fuck himself. I don't even. I am curious why though. I want to know why. But otherwise, I have no opinion about him being gone. Fuck him. Anything else we know of, guys?
Not I.
All righty. That brings us to some deep topic time, and this is a story that was shared to us on MSS News from Joel McLaughlin. What was that?
That was Squishy.
Squishy.
What?
Faith says, "Isn't he Egyptian?" I don't know what the fuck he is. He's a
Banks. Yeah, well, who knows?
He is a white nationalist. He can fuck off. This is from CNN. Let's acknowledge the political double standard for ugly speech. And they're not talking about, ugly bitches. They're talking about, mean words.
Oh, Samantha Bee.
A few things. Let's see. The story of the racist vile tweet that rightfully got Roseanne Barr's sitcom reboot canceled is the first chapter of a tale of two comedians illustrating a glaring double standard about how gatekeepers of American culture tolerate offensive remarks from liberals and excoriate them from excoriate. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Excoriate them from conservatives. Oh Jesus! Music playing. All right, fuck it. It's basically about the Samantha Bee versus Roseanne thing. And here's the thing: there's not a double standard there. There's really not. They said completely different things. There's a difference between calling black people monkeys and calling a woman a cunt. Am I wrong there?
No. I mean, there's still a point to be made that things that they say, whether they be kind of fucked up or not, regardless of how fucked up it is, because in this case, maybe she didn't say something as bad, but it's usually easily dismissed. Like, even if they bring it up, it's just like, this person said that, and that's it.
I see what you mean, but one, I'm not in favor of punishing anybody for their fucking jokes. As dumb as I think Roseanne's joke was, I do think she was joking. And I don't think she should lose her fucking job over that. However, again, I don't think the answer to that is to find every possible offense and start going, oh, we got to stop that too. Got to stop that too.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where I weigh in on this whole situation. Is they're like, you know, what about this person? Their show should be canceled too. I'm like, no. The issue, your complaint, is that somebody's show got canceled for something they said. The solution to that is not to find somebody else to do it to. Like this, that's not the solution. That's not how you fix that problem. That's how you perpetuate it. Like, that's how you keep it going. That's how you create a culture of that problem becoming bigger, is by saying, okay, well, we should start doing this to everybody and that'll fix it. Like, no, if your complaint is that people shouldn't be fired just for saying something, then it goes for everybody, not just the people you like.
Well, would it have been better if Samantha Bee had called Ivanka a bitch instead of a cunt?
I don't think it would have mattered. Which is the point that some people are trying to make. Even if like she said something just like totally unbelievably heinous, just like, why would you say that about any other human? It would have still been treated the same way, with kind of a slap on the wrist type of, oh, well, that's pretty funny because I don't like that person attitude. And that's what people are upset about. But just because you're upset by that doesn't mean you should try to fucking do the same thing that you're advocating against to other people, because it's stupid and it doesn't make any sense.
I think it's primarily just our standards have lowered a little bit, because like I say, if she just said she's a bitch, probably no one would have made any comment about it. But because cunt is still such a taboo word, apparently, then it got noticed. I mean, I think the timing is what got it more attention than anything else, because if it happened on any other day of the week, it would have been not much of a headline. But because it happened right after Roseanne was fired. Now, I still wonder, like, was it not intended to ride the coattails of that scandal by being controversial on the air kind of thing? But I don't know. Either way.
In the thumbnail for this story, they also have, what's her name, Michelle Wolf?
Oh, Correspondence Center.
Yeah. That awkwardly unfunny comedian. And I've seen this bandied about too, because she was making fun of Sarah Huckabee Sanders at the dinner, right to her face. Yeah,
oh my God, how brave.
That's what they do at a roast, guys. But I've seen people talk about, oh, look how mean she was to this girl. It's not just about being mean. I do think there's differences here. We live in a society where racism just isn't tolerated, even to the point where things that aren't racist, the story we had last night where people did nothing wrong at that bakery,
right,
and still got fired because there was a black woman who cried racism. I mean, that's the society we live in right now. And we don't have that same issue with women. And unless it comes to sexual harassment. I mean, you can make fun of women pretty easily. And again, I'm not saying either anyone's right or anyone's wrong, but I do see a difference here. And if you want to compare apples to apples, you got to make sure you're holding apples in each hand.
You know who would have the worst time today if they were doing the comedy of they were so famous for back in the day? Don Rickles.
Oh God, yeah.
Don Rickles, you know, if he hadn't established himself over decades of being the friendly jerk, you know, more or less, that guy would be in so much trouble today. If anybody attempted to do Rickles' act, even if they did it exactly the same, with the same delivery and the same sort of tempo and everything, they'd be out the door before you could blink twice.
Joel says Carol O'Connor and Archie Bunker would never happen today.
Oh, no,
you're probably right, but that's what we need. And again, my whole problem with political correctness is it started with the jokes. That's what they came after first. If you laugh at a racist joke, that means you're racist. I just see this thing, and it's starting to worry me as another way to shut people up so they're not allowed to say offensive things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the wrong way to go. If these people were going, look, these guys got away with it, so Roseanne should have, instead of Roseanne got in trouble for it, so these people should. And that is a difference. That is a big difference, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have no problem with it. It was okay, Roseanne shouldn't have gotten in trouble because these people didn't. But it just seems that they're moving and pushing to try to punish people for exactly what they're pissed off about people getting in trouble for. Yeah, that was the only thing I had on that, because I'm seeing this a lot, and it's starting to piss me off.
I don't think Samantha Bee should lose her job. I don't think Roseanne should lose her job. I think everybody should just be able to say what they want. Now, like we've said before, if a employer, on the basis of someone's behavior, chooses to part ways with them because of either the optics or a morals clause or something else that was agreed to, or I don't have a problem with that either. That's their choice. I don't think it should be reflexive and automatic, though. So, yeah,
I don't have a problem with ABC not wanting to be associated with Roseanne. This is it's my philosophy that you don't fire somebody over a statement unless, if they go, look, I'm going to blow up our company. I have no problem with you firing them over that. But these are individual companies, and I get that. But man, why would you be encouraging more control?
Yeah, I mean, you can believe in both things, contrary to belief. Like you can say that the company has the right to fire whoever they want if they say something that they don't want to align themselves with. But I still don't think that they should have. Like I don't. Yeah. They have the right, yeah, sure, and I don't think that they should be told they can't. I just don't agree with it. It's like exactly. That can happen.
Exactly.
And I did see up earlier, the Hate Camel said for him the difference is that Samantha Bee actually said hers on her show, where Roseanne was on Twitter.
Public statement to public statement. I don't know.
I actually give Samantha Bee a little more credit, or a little more leeway there, because she was in her job at that moment.
Mm-hmm,
okay. Where Roseanne was just being Roseanne, her private person, and that's somebody who she wasn't being paid at that moment to be funny. You know what I mean? Yeah. Again, I don't think she should have been fired for it. I just think if that's what you're looking at, I think Samantha Bee gets a bigger pass because she was actually being paid at that moment to try to be funny.
Try being the operative word.
Yes, because I don't find her particularly funny. She tries way too hard.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was pride. I want to talk about pride for a minute.
Sin?
Yes. Isn't it funny that pride's a sin? As I saw the thing, I saw a Twitter post today letting me know that it was Lesbian Day, and somebody made a post, and it's actually from yesteryear. God damn it, I'm not that old. It's from last year.
Love was such an easy beer to hear.
But it's a post saying, gay pride is not a reason to bash heterosexual people. Everybody should be proud of their sexuality. I'm not proud of my sexuality. No. Now, there's some things I've done sexually I'm proud of. Yeah. But I'm not proud to be straight. And when gay pride started, it made sense. It did the same way black pride did when it started. There was a moment in our history where being a gay man publicly was brave as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, Harvey Milk, for example.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's not that hard. I'm sure it's hard to come out to your family and friends and stuff, but you come out online and say, I'm gay, and you're going to get 100 people following you just for being gay. And that's
and that's a sign of progress.
Yes.
that it's not an issue for most people these days. And I think that's a good thing. That, you know, the day that coming out as gay became boring, I thought, well, I think we crossed the threshold.
Yeah, that was a great day. I mean, that's awesome. If you want to be gay, go be gay. More power to you. I had this thought when I realized, or when I saw that today, I realized how many things I see people proud of. That, and we talked a little bit about this, you know, with race. You know, there's no reason to be proud of it. You did nothing to be white, black, Asian. You just were born. But if you look at sexuality as, you know, we don't have a choice in who we're attracted to, then there's no reason to be proud of that. There's no reason to be proud to be a woman, because you had. And it seems to me that maybe, just maybe, part of the problem with our society right now is that there's too many people really, really proud of doing nothing.
Oh yeah.
You might have a point there.
I mean, how can you be proud of shit you literally didn't do? I mean, yeah, I guess, I mean, if you're gay, you did something to be gay. You put your penis in another man. But that's not, I mean, it's not an accomplishment to be gay.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and bring up something that I've talked about before. It's the Punky Brewster syndrome. I have to be special somehow because there's so many special people now that I don't stand out. So anything that sets me apart becomes a badge I wear of both honor and, for lack of a better phrase, pride.
Cryptic,
go ahead.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Cryptic, I love you. Remember, guys, he's Asian. God just got tired.
Guys, he's Asian.
God just got tired of making all the races. So when he got to Asia, he just copy and paste. Lazy bastard.
Good.
Reminds me of a joke. I forgot who it was that told it, but he said it must be hell to do a lineup in Asia. Like, what did he look like? He had his hair cut like Mo.
Like Mo.
Yeah. Anyhow,
Jesus.
I've always thought of pride a little bit differently when it came to gay people, because back when that was a thing and it was like very relevant, you know, for like coming out or whatever. I thought the pride part came from like being an out gay person.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah, because that was the only reason that it made sense to me, because I'm like, okay, there's a lot of closeted gay people or people who haven't come out or who won't come out for various reasons. And there's a sense of shame that's connected to that, which is the reason why they won't. So when they come out, then they're like, you know, that's why I'm proud, you know, because I don't give a fuck about the social norms.
Encouraging people to sort of like just be who they are and not not be ashamed of it. That was part of the point. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I always saw it. So it only made sense in that context. But when, you know, a black person, like, I'm proud to be black, I'm like, were you closeted black? Like,
yeah, I had to tell my parents I'm black.
They didn't know.
I came out as black.
And I get what you're saying. Because I absolutely agree that at that time it was courageous to come out as gay and be. And that's something. Tell a bunch of straight men back then that it was courageous for a gay guy. Like, he's more courageous than you are, you little fucker. But now, I mean, there's not the stigma. Are you going to run into some shit? Sure, but you'll run into shit for all kinds of things these days.
Yeah. And chances are people will treat you overall more special, like in that regard. Like people are.
The problem comes in is that just because you're not ashamed of something doesn't mean you have to be proud of it.
Yeah.
There's a middle ground there.
I'm content with it or just accept it. And that was my biggest thing before. I'm like, when I first kind of got into the whole mix to listening to what this whole situation was, I'm like, everybody's talking about acceptance. Like, that's the word, acceptance. But the only person who hasn't accepted you that matters is you. So all of your problems are coming from that whole thing. Because you're like, I'm not getting acceptance. Nobody will accept me. I'm like, well, have you accepted yourself yet? Because clearly you haven't. Because you're having a problem with all this external shit. Because most of the people I know who has accepted who they are and themselves are living fairly happy lives right now because they don't give a fuck what other people think. And you haven't gotten there yet.
This reminds me of a little personal mantra of mine. I take neither credit nor blame for things I have not done. I did not make myself be born the way I am. It's what I do with myself that is what I should be proud of or ashamed of or accountable for. So simply being gay or simply being black or white or male or female, it doesn't mean anything. It's not determinative.
In chat, let's talk about whatever says, like being proud of reading an audiobook.
Yeah, exactly.
Well
there
played.
You go. There you go.
This leads me to one other thing I saw on Twitter today I wanted to talk to you guys about. Apparently, in the trans community, there are trans people who don't like other trans people who just want to blend into the sex they identify with. So like if there's a guy who identifies as a woman, feels like a woman, just wants to dress like a woman, have any, medical procedures that they get done, whatever, and just blend. They don't want to be a trans activist. They don't want to be out there and be like, I'm trans, guys.
Right.
And there's trans folks who have a problem with that.
So they have a problem with someone choosing simply not to be an activist for what they are.
For just all they want to do is blend in, and that's as far as their trans goes. Yeah.
So you're being a traitor to your oppression or something.
Basically, yes. But isn't that supposed to be the point of trans?
How do you mean?
That you just kind of meld into the other sex.
Well, that's I would assume, again, I'm not trans, but I would assume that's the ultimate goal, yeah. Is that it's not an issue. Just like coming out as gay is boring. You want trans to be like something that's just part of the background.
Well, but even worse, I mean, coming out as gay, I mean, that can if somebody wants to date you, obviously, like, sorry, I only date other men.
Right.
But like if you're trans, let's say you're a male to female trans, and you've gone through everything, reassignment, all of that. There's not really a reason for anybody to ever know. Anybody other than maybe you, and if you want to tell your partner, I suppose that would be a good thing, especially if like that your partner wants to have kids. You probably should bring it up.
And also just on the basics of honesty.
Sure. But if you're just like going out on a date with somebody for the first time, I mean, there's no real reason to go, hey, by the way, I used to be a dude.
Right, sure.
Because you've changed. You've transformed.
Transitioned.
I don't get this. I here's my theory on it. It's the trans trenders. That's what the problem is, because to them it is a call for look at me. It's not this is who I am. It's please pay attention to me. Please.
Well, is it all that much different than holding women to account for not being feminist enough or something if they happen to say something that's it's controversial if someone says something that goes against the feminist doctrine and they're a woman. It's like you're hurting your sisters or whatever. Like somehow because you're part of a demographic, you're then assumed to also take on the political ideologies that might be associated with it.
Probably the same thing. You're probably right.
Yeah, it's close. What I've noticed though, like from what I've observed, is what it usually comes down to is like, okay, you've transitioned, you are this thing now, and you've changed, and you are happy. That's great for you, but how does that benefit me?
Right.
And that's the position where a lot of these people come from, and there's like, that's great, you're happy, but what are you going to do about my happiness now? Like, it's
or you're held to account to like, what are you going to do about all the people who aren't as lucky as you are?
Yeah, it's like that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, there was no like military force set up to help me facilitate my happiness. Like, I did it myself. I learned to accept myself. Therefore, I am happy. So why the fuck is it my responsibility to do that for other people? Like, figure it out.
Real
Well,
quick, I have
you-
two super chats before I forget them. Incel Casanova, thank you so much. Trans are literally the inmates running the asylum. They're getting there these days. And Sir Wolfgang, thank you. Does the trans community hate traps? I don't know. I haven't talked to them about that.
What Satsu just said reminded me of the whole thing of people who say things like, I have to be the voice for those that have no voices. You know, that kind of thing where there's some implication of obligation that because you happen to be considered within a demographic that is, let's say, going through difficulties of some kind or another, socially or politically or otherwise, that now you are thus then required to be some sort of role model / representative to help out others because you happen to have gotten to a point where you're successful in some way. Either you're, emotionally stable or financially stable or famous or something, that now you're obliged. But you're not. You're just you. You don't have to be a poster person,
Well, I was about to ask Satsu this because I'm sure, I know he's had to deal with this on Twitter. And then I thought, you know what? I can do it myself. I was going to ask Satsu how he felt about Black people who say, hey, you have to take up the Black cause. And I'm like, wait, I'm crippled now. And I've actually started to run into this.
That's right.
Where if you're crippled, you're supposed to, go out there and fight for crippled people. One, I'm crippled. I can't fight, guys.
I'll show you.
I stand up for things that I believe in. I don't stand up for being crippled. That's fucking retarded.
Are you proud to be a cripple monkey?
I am a proud cripple. Yes, I am.
Are you a proud cripple? Are you happy to be a member of the cripple community?
I can't tell you how happy I am to be crippled.
I saw what you did there.
It's a little ableist of you to use the phrase "stand up for things" when you.
Shit! Oh shit!
It's all right. I'm a cripple. I can do it. It's like
you can't. That's the issue.
You bitch.
Monkey is the cryptic of cripples.
The cryptic of cripples.
He's the cryptic of cripples because he can say those kind of things and it's not bad.
Oh my god.
Wait till you run into the ones that believe the only real Crips are born Crips.
Oh,
Timmy and Jimmy. Yeah, I love that episode.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get this idea that you have to stand up for a group you happen to be a part of either.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense. And I've actually ran into the same thing with being white. I had quite a long argument with somebody on Twitter because I said I don't give a fuck if the white race melds completely into every other race and we just have a nice shade of light brown for everyone. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, how can you not care about white race? Like, it's unimportant to me what color you are. It just is.
It's non-determinative. It's just melanin. Hey.
Monkey's too crippled to go on a car ride, yet he can do anything. I can do everything. Guys, we're getting close to the bottom of the hour, so if you do have questions, throw them into the chat now. Comments, concerns, complaints. I'm not going to take complaints, but you can put them in the chat. And don't forget, we have like 4 different fundraisers. Feel free to donate to any of them. They all go to the same place, me. And I promise you, it will be well spent. What else happened to me today? There was something else I was going to tell y'all about.
What's been really important?
I didn't have my Post-it notes, so I can't remember now. RJ says he got a new office chair and it's very comfy. The old one has some rotten wood on the bottom of the seat cushion. I got the chair free. Nice.
It's a good price.
Yeah, nothing sucks more than having to sit at a computer desk that sucks. The chair sucks.
Yeah. If you guys seen this chair I was sitting in right now, you would laugh, but I don't care because it's comfortable as fuck.
Did you buy anything interesting with the ass slap money? Electricity.
Did you get the ass slap money yet? It hasn't been 2 months.
Actually, no. That'll be this month's YouTube payout.
I'm just like, because a lot of people don't realize that.
Joel wants to know what you would name your moon base, Scribbles.
I would name my moon base Crater Valley.
Moon Poon.
Yeah, well, no. Moon Poon would be like the town square. But the colony itself would be called Crater Valley.
Jenna wants all three of us to say hi to her nieces, Sophia, and I'm not sure which pronunciation that is, Eva or Ava. I've heard that one pronounced both ways. Hi, Sophia. Hi, Ava. I'm going with Eva.
Hello.
What up? Hello, impressionable children.
Hello, impressionable children. Oh, that's nice.
Did you see Roaming's tweet the other day of someone giving her grief over the fact that although she's half Irish, she can't consider herself Irish?
Oh, I saw somebody posted that on Twitter. I thought I didn't quite understand. I didn't understand it. I was like, what?
Well, they're trying to tell Roaming that she is somehow like internally conflicted because of her mixed race, and it's a terrible thing to do to people. So you shouldn't mix races because you create a fucked up life for them where they don't belong anywhere. And
did I miss the part where Irish is a race?
Well, this was kind of a different conversation,
okay.
Like a different Twitter feed. But that was the conversation that I came in on, and I'm just like I've never felt like I've belonged with a subset of people. I'm like, the only sense of belonging I've ever felt is with family and people who I actually care about. And that changes very often.
Sure.
So I've never had an inherent attachment to anybody other than like my mom.
Thank you, Circus Zero, for the Post-it note fund. I need them too. I had a huge stack of Post-it notes and Grand Monkey stole the bottom 2/3 of it. And so the 1/3 I have is almost gone, and I use these things all the time now. So I appreciate that. Incel Casanova, thank you so much. Do you think Blair would sing "I Had a Banana" to Onion? I don't know if she would or not. That'd be funny though. Yeah, I don't get why would they give Roaming Millennial shit for not embracing. If Roaming came out and say and started an Irish pride thing, people just laugh at her because she looks Asian. She don't got freckles or nothing. Kyler says I'm about 3/8 Irish. So that doesn't mean much of anything. I'm about 3/4 Irish, and it means a lot because I burn like a motherfucker in the sun. It's weird. My older brother, me and him have basically the same makeup, and he would get so dark in the sun, he looked black, and I get so red in the sun, I look like I'm gonna die. Because the other quarter of us is all Native American. Were they the alternating sticky side or the plain yellow? Okay, my Post-it notes were yellow and blue and pink, and Grand Monkey loves the pink ones. But when she ripped off the pink ones, she took the blue with her and just kept them. I don't know what she did with them. Let's see. What else do we have here, guys? I'm part Irish and have red facial hair. I had red facial hair. Now it's white because I'm old as hell. My dad was a straight up ginger or Irish ginger. So is mine. My real dad's he's a ginger. Oh, and it's with an E for Eva. They were all smiles. Oh, I'm happy to make little ones' days.
Oh.
Data says saying someone looks a certain way is racist. No, it's not. It's observant. That's not racist.
Well, apparently it is.
Thank you, James Colley. Monkey, you need to stand up, stop using your white privilege, and advocate for cripple violence. I'm going to start the Cripples Take Over the World Foundation. I'm going to need another. Damn it! Now I got another fundraiser going. If you'd like to support Cripples Taking Over the World, don't forget to donate. Thank you, Kelly. No comment, just supporting. That came in before the cripple thing, so police do not arrest Kelly. Do you even Minecraft, though? I don't play Minecraft. I don't like the aesthetic.
Yeah, I've tried to play Minecraft in almost every way imaginable, on almost every system imaginable, even in VR. By the way, Minecraft in VR is the most sickening experience I think I've ever had. It's almost because like your character moves way too fast, and even like I just tap the analog stick forward, and like my body just naturally pulled back, like I was being pulled forward, because that's how like jarring it is. And I'm like, no human can play this. There's no way. This was not made for people.
RJ asks how I became crippled. I wish there was a story to tell you. A long time ago, I hurt my neck, and probably related to that. My neck just gave out eventually, and a disc that was ruptured was pushing on my spinal cord, and it actually scarred it. So,
what's up, SDA?
Hello, some dumb American. Why is millennial woe still a thing? Because it's easy to get people to gather around you if you preach hate. That's just, it's easy to whip up a mob. Tom Ramen asks us, is it racist to mock someone for their accent? No.
To mock them? Maybe.
No. See, I would say no, because you can be any race and have any accent, because you can be a black guy who grew up in Asia and all you ever heard was that accent. That's the accent you're going to have. And if somebody makes fun of you for that, they're not being racist because you're black.
I guess it depends on the context. Like, why are you doing it? I guess because it's joking, or if you've never heard it before, or you just thinks it sounds funny, so you're like trying to like replicate it. But I think there are racist people who mock the people's accents because they are racist. So it can be, depending on the person and why they're doing it, I guess.
Ranting Monkey and other lords, if you had to fight another stream, who would you fight?
Sorry, say that one again?
The Kumite, because I know I could beat Tonka's ass.
If you had to fight another stream, who would you fight?
Oh, fight another stream. What kind of fight? Are we talking physical, or are we talking like debate?
They weren't that specific, so pick one.
If I had to like come into conflict with another stream, I don't know. I don't hate anybody. I don't dislike somebody so much or anything, or yeah, I honestly don't know.
I'll fight anyone. I don't care.
Yeah, Monkey's not discriminatory.
Terry says, Ranting Monkey, have you tried not being crippled? I didn't think of that. I'll do that tomorrow. SDA says, suck my left nut. I knew your cooch was small. I didn't realize it was that small.
SDA is trans? Okay.
Monkey, the man who raised you is your real father. He loved and cared. Yeah, but biological dad is still biological dad. I have his genetic goop in me.
Yeah.
All right.
That was more than I needed to hear.
Please, nobody clip that and turn it into something terrible.
Lords of the Night, can you tell SDA about the fish vagina? SDA, in some foreign country, I forget where. Where?
Brazil.
A woman born without a snatch was given one when they built it out of
tilapia. She got
fish
a tilapia vagina.
They used fish skin as a framework on which to have her grow a natural vagina where there wasn't one by nature.
Do you think they just hollowed out a fish and cut off the tail?
That'd be hilarious, but no. Not hilarious, I mean completely actionable in a court of law.
Don't you think people should only call someone racist that they're truly being racist? I mean, it's a gray line. I mean, some people see racism as making a joke, a racist joke, and they honestly believe that makes you racist for saying that.
The closest you can come, I think, with any intellectual honesty is to say what they said was racist. To declare that someone is a racist because of something they said is to know their heart and their mind. So, you know, if someone comes out and declares, like, I hate all people of XYZ color, then yeah, sure, I think they've confirmed it. But simply on the basis of somebody says something, the most you could honestly say is that the thing that they said was racist.
Sure.
To say any more beyond that without more proof or evidence is taking a leap just a bit.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Even when it comes to perception, because 9 times out of 10, what they said could be perceived as racist, but does not mean that it was definitively so, because a lot of people eliminate context and intent from the conversation completely because that shit is inconvenient.
Right. it's much more righteous to say that someone's racist without actually giving them the benefit of the doubt that they were saying something in a context that had nothing to do with such.
Jenna says, Sophia is learning about the start of our country's independence. Do you three have any information about it that she will not learn in school? How old is she? Because if she's, I mean, I can see in our school system today, she could be in college and just learning about it.
That's yeah, no kidding.
Should
we be watching our language with them listening?
Did you guys ever see that article that was talking about how like certain things throughout history is kind of being either erased or sugarcoated in the history books?
Oh, I've heard that stated, and sometimes it's very true. Lots of times, yeah.
Oh yeah, and they were talking about how African American people got to the U.S. and they said they basically took a business trip over here to search for new opportunities.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
I was like, what? Is that what
happened? Jenna says she's 8, going into is in 3rd grade. The only thing that I would tell you, and this is something that is lost in most of it was even lost when I was taught this shit. The founders were not against taxes. There's a lot of misconception about that. They were against taxation without representation. Right. And that is a very, very big difference. That's why you have so many people today. Taxation is theft, and we got away from the British because they had taxes. It's not just about them having taxes,
right?
And
I think even the founders understood the necessity of taxes in a stable government.
I'm suddenly aware that there's an 8-year-old listening to me speak.
I know, and I was about to say that's what I said before. Is like, should we watch our language with the kids around?
Yeah. I didn't even. Oops. Hi, kids.
Hello, children. Pay no attention to the grown adults acting like children. You are much more mature than we are right now.
When we were driving back
watch
from
your fucking mouths.
Oh,
Satsu.
Satsu.
When we were driving back from the store, I swore. I've gotten really good about not swearing around Grand Monkey, but one slipped.
Uh-oh.
And she goes, "What'd you say?" I said, "What?" She said, "What'd you say?" I said a bad word. She said, "Who said it?"
Just rub it in a little bit, why don't you?
And I said, "Well, did you say it?" And she wrinkles up her face. She goes, "No, you did." Like, I admitted it. What do you think you're doing? Anyway, James Colley, thank you. Monkey, what is your thoughts on what is your thought, Tannic Buffalo Wild Wings?
What?
Tariq Nasheed, I'm guessing is what you're mentioning. Buffalo Wild Wings got hacked on Twitter, apparently. Or whoever was in charge of their account decided they didn't need their job anymore. And they said some nasty shit to Tariq, who is all butthurt about it because that's what Tariq does.
Did you see the conclusion?
I did not.
Well, they came back with the conclusion. They came back and they're like, "Sorry, we got hacked, and obviously all things that were said in between this time was not us." And Tariq Nasheed said, so they finally came out and acknowledged that they got hacked. But don't worry, guys, I'll settle this in court for an 80-piece lemon pepper chicken and some waffle fries.
Were they actually hacked, or is this a?
Yeah, they were. I mean, according to what they said, yeah.
Okay.
But.
Because every time I hear somebody like say I was hacked after something untoward was done with something on social media or otherwise, I immediately think of Anthony Weiner, and I think, is that true?
Yeah. A couple of people are offering to educate me about taxes.
Oh boy.
Let me say something that I had to say on Twitter the other day because we talked briefly about history, and I gave a most simplistic answer.
Mhm.
And they came back at me on Twitter. I'm like, look, when we're on stream, I'm not going into a detailed history of shit. Oh, of stuff. Sorry, kids.
Monkey.
But to those of you wishing to educate me on this, I promise you, I know. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, Wizard of Cause. Hey, Nick, how you doing, bud? I ain't seen you for a while.
Hello.
You should come on and talk with us sometime, dude. Hang out. I like him. He has the best storytelling voice on YouTube, in my opinion, and the way he sets it all up and everything.
Yeah, he should do audiobooks that I can read.
Wizard of Cause says
about doing it.
You're beep at this. I mean the not swearing thing. How'd that go? Haha.
Ah, well, you're clever, monkey.
I bleeped myself.
Yes, you did.
Even that beep sounded sickly. Jesus Christ.
Roseanne Barr was hacked. That's what she should have said. That's what, yeah. I was hacked. I actually like Negroes. Oh, God. Questions, comments, concerns. Remember, guys, throw them in the chat. You guys got plans for tomorrow?
Who?
You two.
Oh,
I'm creating a conversation.
I'm going to be on Terracin's channel at 3 p.m. I know 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Gotta get this right.
Satsu and I will be playing Dying Light at 7.
Yeah, we'll probably be finishing it up too tomorrow.
Are you going to be doing anything tonight?
7 Days to Die tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, the issues that I was having with OBS have been fixed as far as
you know.
Yeah, I haven't been having any issues. I basically had to download some drivers to get that set up, and then I had to update my video card because apparently that was out of date. But no issues so far. Although Monkey probably spent the first 30 minutes of the stream not being able to play at all.
Oh, it's probably closer to 45 minutes. Yeah, it just would not work.
Yeah.
There was a question I thought I saw back up here. No, I didn't see a question. Yeah, there won't be a movies you should have watched tomorrow, and not next weekend either, because my youngest turns 21. I'm getting so damn old.
Yeah, you are. Old Monkey.
I can't believe he's 21, man.
Yeah.
I remember when he was, I literally remember holding him for the first time. I don't remember the second one. The middle child, I was actually, I almost slept through him being born.
Okay.
Okay. So the night before my son was born, my wife goes into false labor at 2:30 in the morning.
False? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so we go to the doctor or to the hospital, and we were there for 6 or 7 hours before they sent us home. And I didn't get any sleep. And the next night, she went into labor at 2:30 in the morning. So we get to the hospital, and I passed out in the chair as she's in labor. And I woke up about half an hour before he was born, and I was out of it. I don't remember hardly anything about him being born.
Oh.
That's all right. He's all right. He's the middle child. Middle childs expect that. I'm a middle child. I know how it goes.
I am also a middle child.
You guys are going to make me go find, okay, I got to go find us some deep topic stuff because we don't have questions coming in, and I can't have dead silence. And if I'm left to my own devices, we'll start talking about weird sex stuff like fish pussy.
What? Monkey? Jeez.
Oh, sure.
Gosh. Put a lid on it, would you? There are children present.
Harbo says,
years.
What do you think of Generations and Seasons expansion packs for Sims 3? I never got Generations, but Seasons is a lot of fun. It gives you a lot of stuff to do. It puts snowboarding in there. Your town center in each season has a bunch of stuff you can go do. We're going to deep topics.
Yeah, deep topics.
Conversation starters world.
Oh boy, Monkey. Do an icebreaker.
It starts with personal questions. This is conversation starters.
Oh, okay. What's your blood type?
What is your PIN number?
Yes.
Do you like the cream filling of ding dongs? Actually, I like the dark outer shell of ding dongs. Thank you. And check your logic. What's your next video going to be about? I don't know.
About 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on next month.
Jenna says, fuck you, Satsu.
Watch your language.
Yeah, God bless. Okay, I'm gonna pretend Grand Monkey's here. Where'd they go? Monkey cripple off. We haven't had one in a while. I haven't hurt myself other than just straight walking lately. I haven't fallen down the stairs in a while.
That's good. Old star.
Incel asks a question about State of Decay 2. For those of you who don't know, State of Decay 2, we talked about it briefly at the beginning of the game. Or the goddamn. God bless. I am trying, man. I'm on screen mode here.
You're failing miserably.
State of Decay 2 came out on the 22nd. Yesterday, they dropped a big patch for it, bigger than the game, and it broke my game. Now I can't play. I'm not happy about it. See, I threatened to go to deep topic, and now we're getting questions. Nick says, what do you think about the commonly discussed notion that the political right is embracing conspiracy theories too much in this weird new era? I think parts of the political right always have, haven't they? It's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
It makes for some interesting conversations, but for the most part.
I'll be right back.
BG says, Ranting Monkey, you still do videos? I still want to do videos. I still sit down to do videos, and then nothing comes out. I had one almost done, and we're not reliving that one. Academic Hub says, since we're talking about the government, which amendment would you remove? What would you add as an amendment?
That's.
I would remove. What is it? The Third Amendment, the quartering one. I forget which one it is.
Oh, the quartering soldiers.
Yeah, because there's no real need for it anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty much gone the way of the dodo. Yeah.
And what would I add? I'm not so much sure that I would add any amendment. I would just. I would like to see them back to their original intent.
I mean, I did a video kind of on it last week, but I have no problem fundamentally with adding the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment to the Constitution. If sex could not be a factor used in family court, I think that would change a lot of things real quick.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with the ERA. I think a lot of people calling for it, though, we're not going to like the results.
That's the thing. It's like I completely support the whole concept behind it because it will ensure a legal process to appeal against anything where someone's sex is taken into account in legal decisions, and so I don't see a problem with that at all.
Check Your Logic says, Ranting Monkey, you should do an entire video where you don't swear. That will not happen.
You have a swear jar?
Yeah. I should put a little swear jar in the corner, and every time I swear in one, just to see how many times I did it. We get that monkey, or we've got to change that monkey. We need something to laugh at. If you're talking about the videos, yeah, I want to get them out. I do. I don't know what's going on.
Writer's block.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
How many curse words did Monkey say while I was going?
I don't think I did any.
I think Monkey survived that one. Yeah.
Nick's taking off. Don't forget to check him out on the YouTube Saints. They are on tomorrow night. Last I knew, 10:30. I've kind of lost track of their time frame because me and Satsu end up playing way too long on Sunday nights. James Colley says, what?
Oh, we actually did good last Sunday.
We still went like 3 hours, didn't we? 3.5?
Yeah, but that's only one over.
James Colley, has anyone noticed that the more Monkey tries not to cuss, the more he does? Dun, dun, dun. It's not that I just become more aware of it, so you guys are more aware of it. If you actually listen to me, I swear all the time. Has anybody ever been in a really crappy mood for like 2 weeks and just want to scream at someone to make you feel at least a little better? I don't want to scream at them to make me feel a little better. It's just what I want to do. And actually, when I get like that, I try to figure out why, and it's usually my fault.
Yep. Most of the time when I find myself like just like almost unreasonably angry about something, when I sit down and think about it, I'm like, oh wait, yeah, this is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Should probably do something about this.
Incel Casanova, thank you so much. Mashishu is being mean. Mash, what are you doing? You be nice to people. Is she being mean to me? Mash, speaking of Mash, asks Lords of Night, what DC or Marvel hero would you like to see a movie of? I would like to see Spider-Man. Jenna says, oh, go ahead, guys, answer, and then we have a request.
DC or Marvel character I want to see a movie of. Oh, I know there's one. Sleepwalker. Sleepwalker would be an interesting movie, especially if they tied it into Doctor Strange and one of his first nemesis, Nightmare. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Serious answer, I would like to see the Wonder Twins.
The Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twin powers activate. Jenna says, Monkey and Scribe, sing something for Sophia, please.
How about this? Un palmar barrio con las brisas del mar y al amanecer ser yo solo tranquilidad. Corazón, tu latido pide volver. Tiérdeme, mi amor. Tu recuerdo vive sin poder. Oh, mi Dios, desde el cielo escucha mi voz. Cuanto más tengo que rezar pidiendo mi regreso y vida más simple la de ayer. That's the best I can do.
There you go.
They're like, why isn't he singing in English, mommy?
Who is this man? Send him back to Mexico.
Yeah, I can't.
Nothing for you said. I'm so hard right now.
I can't think of anything to sing. So I'll do what I do for a little bit. I'll just say, "Hello, Sophia. I hope you're doing well."
Mm-hmm.
I just sing things to her randomly.
There you go.
It's funny. Today on the way down to the store, I was singing to her, and after every line that I would sing, she would go, "Yeah." It was awesome. Monkey, can you act like an angry mother-in-law?
What?
Probably.
Yeah.
Never tried.
He has that ability, I'm sure.
Data, I'm guessing you didn't get a chance to see the video I sent you. It's not that I didn't get a chance today. I actually would have had time. It's my memory.
How come you never call?
My mother-in-law was great, actually, because my wife, when we were first together, was mean to me, and she'd call up her mom to complain, and her mom would tell her to leave me alone. Okay, I'm using a Post-it note just for you, Data.
Oh my God, a Post-it note?
Data video.
Damn, Data, you get your own Post-it note?
Yes, he does. His Data's awesome. Let's see, what else do we have? So Monkey sings to Little Butt the way he sings during 7 days. I do, actually. I sing to her all the time. She likes when I sing. I don't sing to her the way I sing Happy Birthday, though.
We need to get more people to come over and watch us play 7 days.
Yeah, guys, if tonight, if you're not doing anything after the stream, just come over and watch me and Satsu for a little bit. Check out what we do, and even if you don't like the video game, man, listen to us banter, because we got sick banter. Sick banter.
Oh yeah, it's sick as fuck, son.
Jenna, you're not going to want to have the kids around though.
Not now either. Jesus.
Have you guys seen any of the Highlander movies? I think I've seen like the first Highlander.
I've seen the first 3. I've seen the first one a couple of times. I've seen the second one maybe once. The third one I think I saw in the background at somebody's house one time.
Oh yeah, guys. There's a lot of fun to be had in the chat too. BG, if you like to see me abused, and Satsu as well, at least come hang out and watch the chat for a little while.
Yeah, I don't take abuse. I deal abuse.
I take a lot of abuse over on that stream.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay because I
you asked for it.
I'm not so much sure that I asked for it as that I encourage it.
There you go.
There's the link where you guys can watch this after the show. And it takes us about 10-15 minutes to get everything set up and going. So let's see. Almost done coloring my comic pages. So Scribe and Satsu, I'll be working on your comic covers soon.
Ooh!
Oh, nice.
I'm really curious as to what's been thought up for me. I have a couple of ideas in my head. Like after your comic book cover came out, I thought, what would be my issue splash page? I wonder what it would be. I have a couple of things. I'll wait and see what the reality.
I think it would be great to see you with your arch nemesis Chris Saliza.
Well, see, that was one of the things that I thought it was going to be something like me versus bad writing or something. But either way, I'm sure I'll be floored by whatever it is. But yeah.
Judge Death tells me that I have an engine in my bike storage. It's not an engine, it's the generator. I made a note on a post-it. Any thoughts on the new Assassin's Creed being in ancient Greece? I've never played Assassin's Creed, so I have no.
It was the next logical place to take it if they're going to keep doing. I'm still waiting. I'm actually curious if they'll ever do something to the effect of like take it to World War I. Do something a little bit more modern, but if they're going to stay in the ancient times, then yeah, Greece. They've done Egypt now, so Greece is next. Where could they take it after that? Japan, maybe feudal Japan, like that. So.
They've already did a mobile one for.
Did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Was it China?
Okay, I'm not a huge follower of Assassin's Creed stuff, but I've seen the big ones.
Yeah, I think it might have been China. My bad.
Have you guys ever watched Thomas and the Magic Railroad? No.
Once a long time ago when George Carlin was the oh no, that was Shining Time Station. Was that?
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't Thomas and Magic. Never mind. I haven't then. Railroad kid shows. I think of that the first one that comes to mind is George Carlin at Shining Time Station. Then
Thank you, Alice Morgan. Scribe, the writer whose words always come true. Ooh. Like the movie Delirious.
Well, you see, how much time do we have for the story?
3 minutes.
Real quick. So I had actually the name Scribe was actually something that I had come up with a long time ago as an idea. I never wrote it down anywhere. As someone who is a superhero, sort of. There's a role-playing game out there called Godlike, and it deals with superheroes that are more like realistic, like they have powers, but they're grounded. Mm-hmm. And I always thought like he would be a guy who, if he wrote something down and someone else read his writing, he would then have access to their mind for a while because they made a mental connection by his words.
Oh.
That over time, his powers increased to such an extent that anyone who read something he had written would then have a piece of his consciousness inside them because his words would become sort of a living meme. And then after he died, he would still be alive as sort of like a hive consciousness subtly in people's minds. That was the concept I came up with, and I named the character the Scribe. But that was long before I decided to do a YouTube thing, and actually completely coincidental when I came up with a name for my YouTube channel.
There's actually there's a hero on My Hero Academia whose power is if you answer any question that he asked you, no matter what it is, if you respond to his questions, then he will gain temporary control over your mind.
Interesting.
Yeah. And his whole thing is he wants to be a hero, but he looks like a villain. Like he just has a face of a villain, and people treat him poorly because they think that he's going to use his power for evil. So he like walks around scowling all the time, but he actually wants to be a hero. And that's like his dilemma, because every time he tells people what his power is, they're like, oh, you're going to use that for some fucked up shit. And he's like, no, I'm not. Like, I want to be good. It's actually kind of interesting.
Let's see, what else do we have here, guys? Were Bert and Ernie gay or just cheerful? I don't think they were gay. They're puppets.
Yeah, they were friends. They were roommates. The Odd Couple is basically what they were. So there you go.
Oh yeah, they were banana and orange.
Exactly.
And with that, guys, it is the top of the hour. Don't forget to come check out me and Satsu over on 2 Cents Plus. I'll link it one more time. That'll be as soon as we can after this stream. Chat, thank you so much for joining us, as you always do. Best audience on YouTube, and I am sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, so grateful that you guys show up and listen to us each night. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the super chats. Again, appreciated. Not necessarily, but so appreciated. And don't give me your money if it's not going to allow you to buy ramen. I just want to make sure you know that. Scribbles, Satsu, a pleasure as always. Everyone, your life makes us sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Or are we doing this again?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about either then. Because I'm a follower, I'm not a leader.
They're waiting to see what we're going to do next.
It's the waiting. That's the hardest part.
I would do this for a whole long time, but we have a stream to get to, so.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.